In the spotlight this morning, Billy Gilman is back home after an epic rise to the top on The Voice. America fell in love all over again with the singer-songwriter who grew up as the youngest artist to ever have a top 40 song on the country charts. Billy's now on tour with a show coming up in Rhode Island tomorrow night. Good morning.
Hello, Michaela, how are you?
Thanks for making time for us. I'm sure you're so busy.
No, it's my pleasure. Like I said, it's like home week every time I'm here, so it's my pleasure.
It's happy to have you back. We're going to chat about your success in just a second, but I want to remind folks at home your first bout with success. It was when you were very young and you had some amazing opportunities.
Oh yeah, I mean that's where I first said hello to the world. I recognized, and people around me recognized, that my voice could do something that my brother or my little cousins could not do. It was something different. So luckily we took advantage of it. We didn't let it go to waste.
Yeah.
And that propelled me to have some success. And as many men, most I think, go through the voice change. And that really derailed a lot of things for a long time. My brother's voice, I swear, changed within 48 hours. Mine took a very, very long time to come back and be at a level where I could do concerts and sing and sustain. It took a long time.
And I'm sure you're like many. We know that the music business is tough and it's hard. You see people kind of rise and fall all the time. And I don't want to say you necessarily fell, but you certainly struggled. Were there ever some times that you thought, maybe I'm done now?
Absolutely. When I was on The Voice, they were speaking of that. And it was so tough at some points. I always think of red as final. Like I always see that color and it's something means final. And I have a handwritten letter. I was doing the MDA telethon. I worked with MDA for, my gosh, 10, 11 years. And I was in the hotel room getting ready to do the telethon. And I wrote in red a letter to my fans describing how it's taking pieces of my soul with me. I can't do this anymore. The struggle is too hard. I'm bowing out of the music business. But something always told me to keep fighting. I don't know what it was, that inside voice. Something always said, no, keep going. And, I'm glad I did.
We're glad you did, too, because you came back so strong. I mean, you auditioned for The Voice. You catch the attention of all the judges, first of all, which speaks volumes
to
your skill, because they touch upon all different genres. What drew you, though, to Adam Levine to say, you know what, I want to work under you. Take me under your wing.
Oh, I just did a show in Iowa about 3 days ago, and I think he was a drunk fella, fine. But he kept yelling, you should have picked Blake, you should have picked Blake. I'm like, buddy, get off it. It's done. It's over with. I didn't pick Blake because country is where I first fell in love with singing professionally. As a child, you're told what to dress like. Your parents dress you. So whatever music is around you then, that's what you gravitate towards. And as I got older, I realized that my voice was more capable of big ballads, and I tried to incorporate that in my music, and Nashville just didn't get it.
Yeah.
So if I knew, in fact, if and when I was to have a second chance, I had to do it my way, and that was leaning towards the pop, the ballads, something that I knew that I could do but never had the lane or the capability of doing that, especially on that kind of a level,
Yeah, and you were so successful. I mean, top 2, that is tremendous on any sort of show, but especially that when you really drew the attention of the entire country. Throughout your experience, was there any certain advice that Adam said to you, or certain words that, you've kind of carried with you to keep you going?
It's not, the one thing that he really said to me, it's not always about the wow factor of a voice. It's getting into the lyric. If you crack, that only makes it more vulnerable and the story more telling. He said, you don't always have to strive to hit that fantastic note, because that's not all that counts. And that was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're making a lot of sense here, But the thing that really tugged at my heart, honestly, and not to sound cliche, but it was my home state. The analytics, and by that I mean I got the numbers of what state was the #1, watching the show and the finale, and Rhode Island was #1. They beat out Texas, they beat out California. You guys were #1, most viewed state for The Voice, which I could not believe, and it just goes to show you how they were rooting, and I really, really appreciate everybody's support. It was unlike anything I've ever felt or seen before.
And you're getting so much support even tomorrow night when you perform at the Vets.
Sold out, baby. It's so exciting. I hope I don't pass out with nerves.
I think you're going to be great. If your time on The Voice is any telling of what you're going to do tomorrow night, I'm sure it's going to be so grand.
Thank you. It's very exciting. I'll be doing a lot of different. It's a brand new show, and incorporating some of the Voice songs that you saw week after week, and some fun stuff. You know, a fellow artist who I look up to said, you know, you always try to do your own stuff, but you always incorporate some great songs that people know that they sing by themselves in the car. You know, so it's a variety show. It's going to be fun.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you again so much. We're so happy for you. Congratulations on all your success. You can see Billy in concert at the Vets in Providence. If you got tickets, like you said, it's a sold-out show this Saturday evening at 8 p.m.